Hello, and welcome back to the soothing tones of AM Talk Radio. Old people talking to old people. Today, however, we have a young guy with us, Critical Reactions himself, Mr. Brian. I've been told that we are part of a live stream. I'm not entirely sure what that is, but hopefully over the course of this short interview, we will all be a little more knowledgeable about busking and the online age. How's everyone doing today? These intros are getting interesting. Yeah, I'm a little under the weather, and I figure I don't get to use a low voice Brian too often, and it's very close to like AM talk radio stuff. Very soothing. So, I'll be completely honest. Nonverbal rambling. I know a little bit of sign language. It's mostly asking for food, saying that you're sick or hurt, and that you have to go to the bathroom. So I'm not sure how far my sign language is going to get us. uh, Sounds like I feel better than you are. Yeah, I don't know how you're doing, but I could be better. I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't know if we're gonna make it the full 2 hours today, but given that we already missed one stream and I won't be streaming next week, I figure I gotta get something done. So we're gonna get something done today, even if it's only like 5 or 6 songs. All right. Uh, we have 13 songs planned for today. I hope we can get through them all. Also, some of them are really interesting, and some of them have terrifying album arts. Like this first one we're gonna check out today. I don't like this. I don't. I don't know, man. That is a wild album art. First song's gonna start us off strong. All right. Well, collection of face expression emojis. That's fair. That's fair. I just type everything. Honestly, my voice doesn't hurt. I just have a really gnarly cough and I'm kind of tired. So I'm fine with talking. Plus I get to sound cool today. It's from the album Animorphs. Oh, for some reason I thought the album art was taken from Animorphs covers. That's how I read that. And I looked at that. I was like, there is no way. Ah, jeez. Drink some kombucha. I actually did finish the kombucha from last week. I hope it's not pneumonia, but my roommate's got an upper respiratory infection. My kid had pneumonia last week. I don't know what I got, but it's got to go away. Uh, I, no, isn't that the word guard? Yeah, guard with like a soft A. Not with the. Does anybody say gird? Keep your gird up? Brian White. It's better for everyone if you try to stop making English make sense. I agree. As a teenager, I always loved watching Gallagher, the stand up comedian, do his language bits. They stuck with me forever. Yeah, I don't know that GIRD is a word, but that is definitely what I would expect GERD to be. Oh, it is a word. To jeer at or to make a sarcastic remark. Or as an intransitive verb to encircle with a belt or band. Oh, like a girdle. Okay. I didn't know girdle had a root word. That's pretty cool. You is ah. Oh, language. Yeah, we should have language. That sounds ridiculous, but I don't know. Gird your loins. Yeah, I can't speak for other languages. I hear that there's some really tough ones out there too, but English is it's just terrible. Oh yeah. Yeah, the acid reflux, GERD. How to spell nonsense words. All right, we got context on this from Greed. From Honningbarna, The Honey Children, 2022's album Animorphs. The song is about how the only constant in life is change and how life is filled with chaos and stillness, big and small moments. The song... one second. Where is... Oh, that's why I couldn't find it. Alright. The song title roughly translates to It Comes to Me, with it being a sound symbolizing moments of change. That's pretty cool. Alright, well, let's dive into this and see what Honningbarna is bringing to the table today. Yeah, that sounds good, Charm Tiger. Definitely whatever works best for you. Family is certainly more important than the stream. That's fair about the album art too. I don't know, man. That was a high intensity beginning to this track. Oh, brunch sounds good. Definitely enjoy that later on. Love the drum work. It's highly abrasive, but kind of digestible. crazy. High energy, pretty much all the way through. The yelling, the intense guitars, the powerful bass underneath. The drum work is just bonkers in here. There is this one part where I think it was accenting every beat and a half with like a little, like a quick flam, 2 hits that are just slightly behind each other. And it felt weird because it wasn't like a specific part of the beat. It was, I don't know, like the image of that beat, an after image of that beat. Just tons of energy from the drums. The fills, the speed, yeah. My son is gonna hear it when he's born. What does that mean? I don't understand. I missed that bass bend though. That sounds like it's pretty awesome. Might have to go back and check that out. I think this name is familiar for some reason. Maybe I saw it in the Discord. Maybe they had an album come out. I don't know. But I might have to check that out. Latest album's gotten top scores from every reviewer in Norway. That's pretty awesome too. They're definitely doing something right. I think as far as punk goes, I'm not usually a big fan of... I mean, I know someone dropped the stringhead saying that this was post-punky. To me, this just sounds very punk, but there's certainly an element to it that caught my attention, and I don't know what that is, because punk usually bounces off of me. But they're certainly doing something right. Even though you get pretty much 4 minutes of the same thing. Granted, we do like reduce the energy of the vocals there in the middle for a little bit. But I mean, generally they got one speed and they're just at that the whole time. And it kept my attention. Even if the guitars and bass were just doing chords the whole time, it still worked for me. I think the vocals put it over the top. I do agree with that. Their origin is classic punk. That makes sense to me because it sounds very classic punk. I don't really hear much of a post element to it, other than maybe a little bit more melody than I would expect from classic punk. But even then, it's a little dash of that extra bit of melody. It's not a core component. Post was the element that sold this punk to you. That I don't know. That's going right over my head. I don't understand that sentence. I should. Like, I get all the words. Post was the element that sold this punk. I don't know. And let's just say in this kind of punk, because it's post is what works for me. And like I said, maybe so. There's definitely something that does. The vocalist is a cellist. That's pretty cool. Do they play cello in here, though? Or... Okay, so they do play it in some songs. Yeah, I gotta check that out. I'm kind of stoked by that. Alright. Next up, we got some frames. Or I should say, the frames. A cello enjoyer. I agree with you. I love the cello. It just sounds great all of the time. It never sounds bad. I will take extra cello in pretty much any music I listen to. Alright, the frames, give it away. Comes from Stringhead. My runner-up suggestion for bass week, no more context needed. Alright. I'm ready for some sick bass work. Felt the production had a bit of post-punk sheen, not too overbearing like a psychedelic sheen. Interesting. I didn't really catch much of that, but it definitely was cleaner than I expect from punk. Frames drop. That's good. Alright, let's kick it, see what's going on with Giving It All Away. No. This was selected for Bass Week, but it didn't make it.
There's only so much that you have. You gotta keep it safe.
I'm sold already.
You've been spreading it round the place.
That sharp snare hit, the bass lead.
Now it's gonna come back this way.
The vocal, what'd I call it?
You're giving it all away.
I don't know. The vocals have me though. I love them.
You're giving it all away.
Good call on that.
And you're lying through your teeth. Said you found a song to sing. And you're riding on a wave. Whatever helps you get along.
What's the album mean?
And you're giving it all away. You're giving it all away. You're keeping nothing for yourself. You're just giving it all away.
I think ultimately that's it. It's just very loud, very forward. Brian will remember that. Yeah, it's just abrasive in every part of the production. I think the idea is solid. It's the production on it that's I don't like it.
Just accept it's all the same.
I do like those whispers though.
And you're giving it all away. You're giving it all away. You're keeping nothing for yourself. You're just giving it all away. And you're giving it all away. You're giving it all away. You're keeping nothing for yourself. You're giving it all
Yeah, I'm definitely the audience for this. The atmosphere is fantastic. I love the way that the bass, I mean, the whole thing starts off super eerie, and here's so much. What is that word when someone is just like super charming? Maybe that's just the word I want. Like, I just feel like I'm safe with this guy. But by the end of the song, I feel like I shouldn't have felt that. Charisma. Yeah, it's very charismatic. Yeah. And I like the guitars on the outside, kind of giving us those, I don't know, just like textures, embellishing ideas. We have like the bass that gives us that riss. We have the bass that gives us a bump, and then the guitar on the right goes, and it's like this super sharp bend up. And the bouncing back and forth between those two of those, creating this Hocket, is fantastic within this like eerie atmosphere already. And the rest of the bass line is super solid. I love the building up of ideas. The big finale was a perfect melding of pretty much every section in the song except for the tremolo picking, which to me is sort of, it's the one blight on this, honestly. Like I said, I think the picking itself is fine. It does provide a very different energy. It provides attention to the song that I think works. It embellishes on the emotions of it. But the production on it was not my cup of tea. Which is interesting because everything else in the song does have interesting production too. Everything about this feels just a little off. It sort of reminds me of the visual language of something like Cronenberg, where most of the stories kind of have a rooted element to it, but there's always something a bit eerie to it. Something just a little off. The way that the camera works, that the actors move and talk, there's always something a little not normal to it. And I think that's what the music sounds like. It's generally well written, but the production's just off in the slightest ways where you notice it, but you can't really point to why it feels off. I think a lot of it has to do with placement and sort of brightness. Everything feels very in your face despite not feeling claustrophobic. It feels contradictory, but I think that's one of the things that really draws me to it, is the production of the whole thing. A very grim and true moment. Yeah. Yeah, we're just not going to talk about that momentary black metal section of the song. But yeah, I pulled that one off too. So we have 2 out of 2 so far that I've got to dig more into. I quite enjoyed that. We got some Robert Wyatt. Whoa! That's an interesting thumbnail. This one comes from Thile. The list ever grows. It really does. I gotta go back and trim it down one of these days, because there's no way I'm gonna get to all of it. Gotta figure out what I'm like still really interested in. One of the best prog records ever made by a legend who tragically was paralyzed after a fall prior to his album's creation, it completely flips jazz rock on its head as a concept by taking out the noodling and instead distilling the looseness and emotional storytelling of jazz into a rock song structure. Highly recommend checking out the full album. It works best as a cohesive experience. Alright. Let's dive into this and see what Robert's bringing with Sea Song. Oh, I missed that context about the singer of the Frames being in a film. That's interesting. Something about the synth in particular is giving me, I don't know, very hazy, dreamlike vibes.
In the spring, I know you're a seasonal beast, like the starfish that
Is that when this came out?
with the tide, with the tide. So until your blood runs to meet the next full moon, your madness fits in nicely with my own, with my own. Your lunacy fits neatly with my own, my very own. We're not alone.
Ooh, I like that upturn. Hey, Mark, welcome. That's definitely one of those that I think just takes a little bit more time to have a strong understanding of it. There's a lot of things in here that feel very much like outsider art. Creating music not from a place of uh, being influenced by the world of music, but kind of coming at it from a pure angle. I can appreciate those. And I find it interesting that it definitely hits on feeling experimental in ways without, I think, really doing much experimental. It feels off, it feels unusual, but as far as I can tell, it doesn't capture any of the most common elements I find with avant garde or eclectic music in general, which is odd rhythmic ideas, odd harmonic ideas, or sloppy playing in any way. And I think that's what makes it most interesting to me. The chord progressions are exceptionally solid. This guy totally understands how to write the chords he wants to express the emotion he wants, whether it is something a bit lighter and whimsical, or something that feels a bit darker and stranger, or even the eerie forest vibe that I found in the middle of the track as he shifted to those darker chord progressions. His vocals are also a bit on the raw side. I think I would prefer someone singing this part that has a little bit more, I think, traditional training. But again, his pitch isn't off either. He has some very interesting melodies. The note choices clash a little bit with the chords, but it's not in a way that says, I don't know how to sing and you're hearing, intonation problems. To me, it more says that I have an interesting idea of what these chords should sound like alongside a melody. I think it is the part that brings the most amount of tension to the song and what makes it sound just a little bit off. But overall, I think I kind of agree with everyone else that it grew on me a little bit over time. Not something I would necessarily seek out, but unfortunately, the ending started to push me away. The random wailing and vocalizing did not really do much for me. But I did kind of enjoy the middle half of this. The middle half, wow. The middle third of this track. As I started to understand what it's doing and what its language was and what it was trying to say. But I do think I stand by the idea that this feels very pure as music, something that outsider artists typically bring to the table. You're just not getting cited at all today, Synops. We're all failing our bibliography to our thoughts. Alright, that was an interesting track though. In the middle half. Jeez. I'm bound to say some really dumb stuff today. Comments? Next song. Then comments. This one we have JILUKA. And that is not how I want to read this at all. I think I have read this ever since I built the schedule. I've read it as JILUKA with the U and the I swapped. JILUKA, though. That's what it is. The middle half is 25 to 75%. See, y'all are getting it. That half was the middle center of sorts. Yes, the song is Colt. I'm probably going to call it Cavolt because I'm not a huge fan of making V's U's. Alright, Ramono, have a good rest of your day. I'll catch you next time. I can say whatever I want with this voice. I just keep getting lower and more resonant, and I can say anything I want. And I'll have you all lulled into the dulcimer tones of my voice. Alright, we have the song Colt, though. Oh, wait. Yeah, what's up with the title on? Oh, you know what? It got switched. That's what it was. That's what Evil was talking about. Okay, I'll get that fixed in a second. I want to get the song rolling, though. We got context on this. From Evil, one of the bands that opened for Yusei Tokoku. Is it subtle? No. Is it good? I don't know. But is it Japanese? Definitely. Well, at least we got a yes to one of those questions. Vinfortunate. I can get behind that. It's very tough to say, but I'll work it into my lexicon. Alright, let's dive into this, see what's going on with JILUKA. Did I not say dulcimer? That makes sense. I would believe it.
Keep your eyes closed in dark space. I'm ready for fate. There's no limit to escape. Gonna climb control every place in your life. I feel fine for the more. And it will be nice, right? A bright race, snake the two. I'm just a blue pop the blue. I built the fort, just call me Lord 24. Lie your face, this is cold. This is so fast, you can't protect you back now. All around, but just this one club. Countdown, won't not last. This is so fast, you can't protect you. You're lost in darkness, cloud. It means no escape. I'm a turkey by yourself. Without burn, so heal me now. Don't want to serve yourself.
Nah, we're changing English today. I'm sticking to Jonas. I'm on board for this though. This is solid. So we have deathcore with clean vocals, strings, and hip hop. Well, I guess maybe just rapping. Oh no, the beginning was very electronic though. Those bass kicks have to be triggered. They are too pristine. Okay. They weren't happy with ending it there. Interesting. The line, open up your mind for the new Colts. Usually Colts work best for people who aren't thinking. Yeah, dude, this is, where's Johnny? Yeah, Johnny would have had a lot of things to say about the production on that one. I could already hear it. I enjoyed this. It definitely is deathcore, but taken to that next level that a lot of Japanese bands like to take it. I dig it. There's a lot of melodic ideas in here. It switches things up. And for whatever reason, even like the breakdown, which I'm not a big fan of breakdowns, there's something about it that works for me. It isn't just heavy, low end, playing that low string open that you have. There's, I think just the digital side of things, the strings, the choir, everything that sort of adds a more harmonic element to, let's just play something low and meaty. So, yeah, I mean, ultimately, this thing just works. It's so chaotic. It's so all over the place. I don't know if it's something I'm going to be able to get a whole album through, But I mean, they're a self-aware cult. Cults are great for people who think they're thinking but aren't actually thinking. That's fair. That's definitely fair. But yeah, someone else had mentioned that they can hear the inspirations. I bet it's an experience live. All those switch ups, the super heavy sections. Yeah, that's gonna be phenomenal live. I think I don't know what I was saying anymore. Oh yeah, the inspirations. I don't know where I was going with that. Someone was getting goosebumps on this. All the cult stuff, man. It's just I saw someone type how man, I gotta scroll up. I'm not gonna be able to remember that. Kvip Hivip Havop. Dang, that was of course it was shading with the gray. Always making me say weird things. I could listen to more of them too. I pulled them down. I'm gonna check out more. I just don't know if I'm gonna be able to take a whole album. That is super intense, and I can't imagine 40 minutes of that. Yes, we were actually talking about this last 2 weeks ago, I think it was. Maybe it was last month. We found out the term for it was called frisson, or frisson, Frisson. The idea, or the concept of getting goosebumps from listening to things. Oh, it is. It's definitely very Bring Me the Horizon. But I'm also thinking like, who's that other deathcore band that's like super big right now? But yeah, Bring Me the Horizon, bringing like hip hop and trap beats and electronic music into the world of heavier metal sounds, making it palatable. Yeah, Lorna Shore. Yep, that's them. Yeah, I can see the electronic metal angle and jump into Bring Me the Horizon. I think on the deathcore side of things, though, they definitely remind me of Lorna Shore. What if you replaced every vowel with V? Why can I read that? With AV. What if you replaced every vowel with a V? I think it's wild how little information our brains need in order to read something. Because the brain is awesome. The brain filled in so many blanks there, and somehow it still got it right. Sometimes, yeah, I'll go with that. Sometimes. Redundancy. Is it because of redundancy? Is it because I'm not really paying that much attention to the vowels? How am I already Colt? Oh my god. We are going to make the cult of the V. I, I don't know how many of you all are going to start typing without any vowels. Golly. Whether Y is a vowel or not. Isn't it what do they call it? Complementary vowels or honorary vowels? That's what it, complementary? What am I even thinking of? An honorary vowel where it can be used as a vowel in rules sometimes, but that by definition it is not. I don't really think that's too controversial. Unless there are like steadfast Y is a vowel people out there, in which case I don't think I want to know them. It's a wild hill to die on. R and H. I'm gonna guess it's your internet. I don't know if you can even still hear me, but yeah, we still have zero dropped frames. Speaking of dropped frames, like I told y'all, I fixed the internet. Well, actually, I didn't fix it, but it got fixed. We haven't had a dropped frame at all in the last 3 streams, but next month I'm moving up to gigabit fiber. I'm pretty stoked about it. I don't think it's gonna change much for y'all. I'm just happy that when I upload my album reactions, it's not going to take 6 hours. Because right now, I have 10 megabit up. It is so low. Yeah, fiber. It's my upload speed is going to go up 100 times. I mean, I can't even think about that. It's just, it's gonna be wild. I might bump up the bit rate on this, but I think I'm pushing 4 kilobits per second, and I think Twitch caps out at like 8 or 10 or something like that. YouTube goes up to 20 because YouTube accepts 4K, but Twitch caps out at 1080p and they keep a lower bit rate. So I don't think it's going to change the streams much. Think of all the piracy you can do. Tremendous speeds. Yeah, I don't even know. I can't even imagine. Just like wanting something and then having it like as soon as I click the download button. It's going to be wild. The switch from YouTube to Twitch was quite noticeable, but that might just be volume. What do you mean that it was noticeable? Was it like a quality change that you're thinking of? Yeah, I think your internet's died because everything else was working fine. Oh, the quality, it improved? Because that's one of the things that I thought I saw, but I didn't know if it was placebo. When I started downloading, oh, it worsened. Because when I started downloading the videos to upload to YouTube, I thought they looked crisper than they did on YouTube. But it could be that Twitch has worse compression rate. So maybe the bitrate bump will bring it back up to maybe the bitrate bump would bring the quality back up. So, I don't know, we'll see. That's sometime next month. I don't know when that is. So we might still have a few more streams to go, but I've been told from my landlord by the end of the month. So I'm excited about it. It's going to be awesome. And the crazy thing is, it's actually a little cheaper than the 310 that we're doing right now. That's crazy to me. 300 down, 10 up, and it's going to be cheaper to get a gig up and down. Twitch is crazy. Like, when I think about how many people are streaming on Twitch and that, like, it doesn't break, that just kind of blows my mind. But I do wish Twitch would, like, get up to the modern day. I think it's totally unacceptable that they don't support 4K. Not that I could use it, but, I mean, when your competitor is doing it, there's absolutely no reason for you not to. I think if I ever told them that I was switching back to Spectrum, they would laugh at me and call my bluff immediately. No one would ever switch back to Spectrum. They won't. No, they won't. I'm going to pay more for worse customer service at half the speed. Yeah, that ain't going to happen. Alright, let's get this train back on the rails. I'm going to look at some Shadow of Intent, a drum playthrough in particular. This one comes from Vermilion Gates. You've reacted to a couple songs from this band before. You'll remember their sound pretty fast, I think. It's nice to see all the intricacies that can easily be missed in the full track with vocals, and maybe interesting to see the work that talented drummers like Anthony Barone put into them. Cheers. I always like watching drum cams of really good drummers. So, I got Verizon and Comcast in my area. The retention departments are aggressive when there is competition, and I bet they are. Alright, let's kick it. Let's see what this drum playthrough's got for us. I think I like drum playthroughs more simply because I don't play drums. That I've played enough to know how difficult this stuff is, but I'm not a drummer myself. Oh, there's definitely that aspect where it's visually interesting too. Yep, that's fair. Yeah, because a lot of it is like muscular stuff that you're not really going to pick up. You can watch like fast finger work, but that's about as far as the visual part goes from those horns. Or like if it's a trombone or something. Yep. Getting that extra focus on it while still hearing the rest. Give me that melodic cymbal work. Yeah, the context had mentioned that there was a lot of vocal work going on that kind of buried the drums, so they didn't have it in this one. It still blows my mind that people do this all the time with these genres. Your grindcore, your thrash metal, deathcore, technical death metal. Oh, what was that? Stamina. That's what I'm talking about. Like, yeah, dude, bouncing back and forth between that little, I don't know what that cymbal is called, super tiny one, and the snare. I mean, that wasn't a small gap. Like, that was fast. Yeah, the sustained endurance is really where stuff like that really comes into play. I don't understand the shaky handheld cam thing. I'm trying to watch this guy play drums. I don't need extra camera movement. Yeah, that was awesome. I do have to agree that the blast beats are probably the least interesting part for me. Same with that constant bass kick that goes on. Very impressive from a performance side, but those sounds just... the constant repetition of a noise is just never going to click with me, I don't think. But a lot of the other drum work going on is wild. And of course the stamina of the whole thing. I mean, this was just 5 minutes, probably about 4.5 of a song. You got to figure that these bands put on full shows and they just do this for an entirety of a set. It blows my mind. It really does that people can push their body this far. Um, and I think that's one of the coolest things about music in general, but particularly these more extreme metals, is the shred, the vocal growls, the intense drum work. Everybody's pushing their skills to a limit that no one before them had, and I think it's very cool. And to find, such an audience for it too. If metal were this small niche thing, that'd be one thing, but metal is a huge thing. And it's a genre that's sort of, once you get past the surface level stuff, really about pushing the body and pushing limits. And I think it's pretty cool that it's found an audience. I do love the more melodic work in there, though. A couple of those fills I thought were fantastic. I'm still not sure how he did that snare to cymbal thing. That was just bonkers. Yeah, I agreed though, Bill. He's a beast, 100%. I couldn't do that, that's for sure. Alright. Next up, we have some Andrew Bird and Chris Thile, probably. The song Olympians comes from What Makes Me Me, an excellent version of an excellent song with tons of great musicians. Awesome 5-string violin too. Oh, Chris is from Punch Brothers. Okay. That's interesting. I'm definitely on board for this then. Let's dive into this and let's see what's going on. We've upgraded from a cello enjoyer to a general strings enjoyer.
Speaking in tongues in the night, I wasn't having it. I could tell that something wasn't right. Why don't you come to bed? Instead of stumbling into the light of medicine cabinets, shaking up pills left and right. Contagious, and we are Olympians. We're gonna turn it around, yeah. We're gonna turn it around, yeah. We're gonna turn it around.
I don't think I've heard Andrew Bird play anything like this before.
Stop spitting out anathemas. Spitting out anathemas. It was anathema. Spent half of my life on the exchange. Yeah, it was anathema. About half a mile between idle and deranged. Yeah, it was anathema.
I like the vocal harmonies. I wish you would get more of them.
the most? Who's giving up the most? You were speaking in tongues in the night. Oh, who's giving up the most? I could tell that something wasn't right. Oh, who's giving up the most? You were shaking out pills left and right. Oh, who's giving up the most? You were stumbling into the light. Competition rages. This nocturnal dance. The misery's contagious. And we are Olympians. Gonna turn it around. We're gonna turn it around, yeah. We're gonna turn it around. Gonna turn it around. We're
You were
gonna
right
turn
though.
it around.
Very light drumming, very sparse, giving it a nice texture in that last section. All right. Yeah, I don't think I have a lot to add to that one. Fantastic performance as always. Progged up folk, proggened folk. I can go with that. The harmonies were nice. The drumming was nice. Pretty much every other instrument present was very, very functional. Just there to sort of fill out a foundation. Really, everything getting out of the way for Andrew to do what Andrew does and solo on top of stuff and sing on top of stuff. And it's good. I don't have a problem with it. I think it's the song that I've been least, I don't know what the right word is. Most of the other songs that y'all have shown me from Andrew Bird immediately made me want to check out more of his stuff. This one just felt very safe, I suppose might be the word for it. It's a fantastic track. It is. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It doesn't quite grab me the way that some of the others do. And I think it's because it just kind of does this one thing, which is allow Andrew to sing and play a little bit of violin work. And that's never a bad thing. It just ends up being a bit too, maybe simple for me. I think I set my expectations a little higher, given that Chris, I came to the conclusion, is part of Punch Brothers, and I've loved Punch Brothers tracks in the past. I've loved Andrew Bird tracks in the past. I figured the two of them coming together was going to do something excellent, and I really didn't get anything from Chris on this that I think added much to it. He's just sitting over there on his, I don't know what that instrument's called, mandolin, maybe? I don't know, that little tiny guitar he's got. And he's just, he's just sitting over there chill. I kind of feel like this is one of the worst ways I can react to something. If it's bad, I can lean into why it was bad. If it was excellent, I can tell you why it worked. But here I'm just like, it was a song. And kind of not having anything to say about it feels really bad, especially when I did enjoy it. Just nothing really stood out to me on it. You got a folk allergy or something? All right. Lantlos. Why do I think that this is black metal? Or black gaze, maybe? The only cure is more strings. I can get behind that. In fact, I think more strings would have really helped here. Give me an upright bass here to kind of do something cooler than what the electric bass was doing. Let's get a walking bass line rather than brute tones. Like I think there's some ways we could have spiced this up without taking the attention away from Andrew's lead lines. But it would have been a different song at the end of the day, so. Okay. So it is black gaze then. Or starting around the black metal area anyways. More string theory. That's science, isn't it? String theory? Or is that math? Dude, a cello would have sounded great too. You think I say that every time we check them out? It's, well, like, you see this thumbnail here? That does not say black metal to me. So, oh, it's physics? Okay. There are a few bands that I just can't remember them, and I end up saying the same thing about them. Um, there's a band that I can't remember what they're called. And we've checked them out like 5 or 6 times, and every time I start the reaction off with, "This is a new band for me. Let's get into it." No, I don't think it's Alcest. No, but they're also black metal, aren't they? You know, if I could remember it, maybe I could break this curse. This curse of not being able to remember the bands. All right, let's get a comment going for this. Comes from FHI. Dreamy. Okay. I don't know how black metal can get dreamy, but we go and find out. Let's dive into this one. Lake Fantasy. Yeah, this isn't what I was expecting at all. Also, the compression on this is ridiculous. If I didn't know better, I'd say that this was like at 320p or something. Visually, I'm talking about. Big atmosphere on this. Kind of reminds me of Deftones too. Ooh. That's an interesting tone sitting above all the guitar work. this how they're gonna end it? Huh. Huh. Yeah. That was a lot of repetition for nothing, I think. I liked bits and pieces of this. I think the atmosphere is pretty solid from start to finish. That sort of proggy section where we changed time signature and got kind of weird in the middle was nice. But generally, I don't really think this is my cup of tea. I do like the playfulness of melody, though. Having this big guitar tone kind of surrounding everything on the song, giving us this solid chord progression throughout most of it, and as someone, oh, I think it was the Youth Worship Explosion, talking about this high-pitched sounds sitting above the band and sort of pushed into the background. I thought that was kind of nice. Just kind of creating this feeling of weightlessness, etherealness against something totally solid, totally grounded and rooted. I thought that was pretty cool. The vocals were well done. I enjoyed them. It was nice to have some cleans in here, so I appreciate that. I think there's a lot of power behind them too, a little bit of reverb, but I quite enjoyed what the vocals sounded like on this track. It really is, I just think, a lot of the repetition. When I listen to what the guitars and drums are doing, it's just the same thing over and over, and it's just very chord based. And I had a hard time getting into that, especially with the heavy white noise texture on everything. I don't know that I would necessarily have guessed that they started out in a blackened genre, but you can definitely see some telltale signs listening to this, specifically in the production of it. Yo, dude, that's a good description. Yeah, it's like a metal take on shoegaze. Yeah, like an alt metal take on shoegaze. And maybe that's why I'm not that big of a fan of it, because it leans more towards the gazy side than the alt metal side. I don't know. Y'all told me I've enjoyed them in the past, so maybe this is just one track that isn't clicking for me. And I would enjoy others from them. We got some Tricot here. Always enjoy some Tricot. This is math rock, right? Thoughts just says that this is their pick for March. We got the song Pool ahead of us. Let's dive into this. We had a lot of music videos today. Let's see what Tricot's bringing to the table. Trying to keep things fresh with this ever-shifting riff. Okay. That is an interesting riff for the 5/4. Oh, now we're in. Yeah, so this is in 5, but we subtly switched to a 6. Oh. Yeah, they're all over the place with time signature. Ooh, that was a subtle retardando. Yeah, the shift from the 5 to the 6, I initially didn't even catch it. It was really subtle. Quite impressive. Bringing in like a jazz rock idea here in the harmonies. Love that rhythm. Emphasizing 3 and 4 and 6 and 1. Panning on that is interesting. Okay. So it was math rock, but not the math rock I was expecting. Definitely a bit more on the punkier side of things. I enjoyed this though. The time signature wonkiness was fun, very palatable and accessible. And like the Youth Worship Explosion had mentioned, that they wrap all this up with a pop accessibility, and that makes it impressive. And I totally agree with that. I think this is certainly a style of music that you could get people interested in, despite some of the odd harmonic choices and odd time choices. There's even, like I mentioned, a stretching of time in that first chorus. I think it was a very subtle retardando going on there that honestly surprised me. Nice video work. Yeah, I was thinking while watching that this is certainly a way to create an effective yet budget-friendly music video. Are they? Because I think I've mostly been exposed to Western math rock, but I've been exposed to a fair bit of Japanese too. So, but at the same time, I wouldn't necessarily say that I've heard a lot. Just that I feel it's pretty 50-50 in what I have been exposed to. But I think that's interesting. Makes me want to kind of dig into both of them and see if there is a fundamental difference in composition between the two styles. I'm sure that there's still going to be a time-based focus around both of them, whether that's odd phrasings or time signatures or something like that. But now I'm kind of curious. But yeah, this is another song that I don't really think I have a lot to add on to as far as conversation. It does its thing. We got a pretty solid verse and chorus. I like the bass work. That one time that it did something interesting, the bass was primarily pedal tone stuff going on in here. Oh, dude, that would be fun. I actually wouldn't mind doing more of stuff like that. Not just that specifically, but even looking at death metal and looking at like Florida death metal versus, I don't know, what's another one? Norwegian death metal? Is that another big place for death metal? Any of this, just kind of exploring how different regions or cultures might explore the same or a similar sounds. I think that'd be pretty cool. This is super high energy though. I think the vocals drive a lot of that because the guitar work feels less energetic somehow. I think it captures this very jazzy rock vibe, and it feels a bit more lighthearted than the vocals kind of give. The vocals have an edge to them that I think helps sell and sort of wrap this entire package up into something a little more than what it is as individual parts. All right. This meniscus DBT from Tiger Charm from Australia. Brian, please play the Bandcamp track that I've linked. Will do. It's over there. The official YouTube cuts out, oh, a whole minute early. That's stupid. All right. This was their first completed song for their third album, but since it ended up taking 2 years to complete the album, they left this as a standalone single, a majestic song. Usually I would have gotten rid of the first part of this, but I guess I never got around to doing that. I was filming a music video yesterday and realized 3 of the performers were in music classes with me in high school. Dude, that's awesome. Oh, cool. I don't know what genre this is, but it's going to be interesting. Let's dive into this, see what's going on with meniscus. Yeah, just a solid, moody opening here. Very atmospheric, very low energy, but setting a mood, that's for sure. Yeah, I think just talking more has helped my voice kind of normalize a little bit. Just kind of engaging it. But I mean, I can still get pretty low if I want to relax it. Cinematic is definitely the right word for it. I had some spicy food last night, because usually that helps a lot. I don't know that it helped today. Well, it helped with this particularly. I think I woke up worse than ever. Magic? Oh, a saline irrigator, yeah. Yeah, the song definitely took its time getting to this beat. Just because I don't keep up with it. The Spice Girls haven't released anything lately, have they? You never know with so many bands getting back together. And returning back to a very cinematic ending here. Yeah, I enjoyed that. It's one of those things where I feel like post-rock kind of gets lost in the atmosphere. And here they made sure to include a lot of melody writing. And I think that's one of the things that really makes it stand out to me. What kind of makes it stand out from the pack. Very cinematic beginning into a large bombastic finale with just really strong melody writing. Kind of had like an eerie start, but I like where it went. It felt energetic. Yeah, it's more dynamic. I think that's a good term for it. Which I think is interesting too. I might have come to that term on my own, but like post rock is typically a dynamic genre anyways. I just feel like it tends to take so much time to reach the dynamic elements, to start from the low and get to the peak. And this one, while it did have a very long introduction, I feel like where we got was well worth the wait. It was well worth the build up. So, yeah. And I think if they had just stuck with pure atmosphere at that the large section, I don't know that I would have been on board with that. I think the melody really sells me on this one. Yeah, 100% good payoff. Problem with post rock is much of it sounds very samey, but when it works, it can be super great. I agree with that. I think a lot of that, though, just comes down to the way that post rock tends to focus on atmosphere, at least in the limited exposure I've had to the genre. And when post rock works for me is when the atmosphere isn't the main focus. It's secondary to vocals or melody on a synth or melody on a guitar or something. And I can still hear a story alongside this evocative texture. Because post rock's texture work is phenomenal. I have no criticisms for that usually. I don't get a story with the texture. And that's usually where I get lost. Yeah, the electronic parts in this worked very well. Yeah, I'll pull that one down. Check out a couple more tracks from them. Alright. So I'm looking at these Pringles Hot Ones Los Calientes flavors. I might have to grab these. I don't know if I'll eat more than a handful. I don't know how hot they are, but they look and sound delicious. And since I have to go out today, I gotta go see a doctor and probably get some antibiotics for this stuff. I'll probably stop at probably a Walmart. Walmart usually has Pringles stuff, right? Oh, the website says it's only at Target, though. Eek, Target exclusive? Oh, wait, no, Publix, Walgreens. Oh, Walgreens. When I go pick up my meds, then I'll see if they have it. All right, cool. Yeah, I don't even have to go out of my way. That's where you bought yours, Walmart. All genres can be samey if you aren't familiar. I think there's definitely like a good portion in the middle of a bell curve where at the beginning everything can sound the same, in the middle everything is excellent, and after you've listened to a million bands, you kind of realize where all the similarities start to lie and things can get samey again. Going to request a Meniscus album next after you reacted to Alkaloid. Okay. Okay. I'll hold off then. The deep fried pressed potato mash. That's fair. I don't eat chips very often. When I do, it's usually tortilla chips. Not a big potato chip fan, but I do like hot foods. So, and I just like trying limited time flavors. Whoops. Some stupid part of my monkey brain. I'm like, ooh, limited time. I gotta try that. So, they're always gonna catch my attention with that. Verde's the best. Okay. A lot of times post rock tracks just don't go anywhere. So I get what you're saying about story of the texture. Okay. Tortilla chips are superior in every way. I think so. I fall for marketing tricks. I do. I 100% do. Particularly when they're cross promotional like this. I I'm not even gonna lie about it. I think the only people, well, I don't know how to word this. I think generally speaking, if you firmly believe that you don't fall for any marketing tricks, you're falling for way more than you think. I think it's a lot better to recognize that marketing does a fantastic job of tricking you psychologically and trying to figure out where you can work against it when you can and just going with the flow where you can't. Because they don't spend millions of dollars on psychology research and colors and visuals for their products if there wasn't a payoff on it. We all get tricked by it. All right. Yeah, we all do. Exactly. Angel Dust. All the way dumb. I have been looking forward to this because of this. Because of that. I don't know what this is. It cracks me up. I'm also a little terrified. It's got weird textures to it. I think it's some sort of oil paint, but it kind of comes off looking like hair. Looks like a fuzzy thing. I don't know. I have to know what the song's about, though. Studying media design. Yeah, dude, there's a lot of tricks. I don't even study that kind of stuff, and I know that there's a lot of research that goes into just the visuals of a product. Shaun the Sheep? Oh my god. That's terrible. Aside from silly single tortilla spice, a UK brand released a mega spice chip, Seabrook's Fire Eater. Dude, I don't know what that is, but I'm looking it up. I'm very intrigued by this. Super hot fire eaters lineup. Is this super hot for for UK standards? I don't want to throw any shade, but I know that they banned some tortillas, I mean some Doritos, I think, for being too hot for and like they're sold in the US just fine. These look good though. Chili and lime, smokehouse cayenne, and Trinidad scorpion chili. I'd probably pass on that one. But the smokehouse and the chili lemon sound good. US food standards are not something I take as a reference. That's totally fair. That is totally fair. Ah, jeez. All right, let's. We got context for this. No, we don't. Comes from Christopher. We just have to go into this one not knowing what's going on. There. I gotta see if we can import them then. I'm always down for a hot chip. So those flavors too, man. All right, let's kick it with some angel dust. Oh, this song's only 3 minutes long. Not where I thought we were going with that abrasive opening guitar. Well, the music is a lot less off-putting than the animation. Did anyone else hear that voice? I do like that moving line off to the left. It's a strange timbre there. That one right there. It's just such an abrasive guitar tone, but it sounds fine when it's de-emphasized in the mix. We're bringing it back here too. Retaining that new guitar idea, but bringing back the atmosphere and energy of the chorus. and it just ends. Yeah, that was interesting. Very straightforward. You know, we got a guitar and bass throwing chords down. We got this very abrasive guitar giving us some cool melody going on there. And it just ends. Yeah, dude, it just kind of stops. I like the vocals though. Like I said, they weren't quite what I was expecting. Given that really abrasive guitar that we heard at the beginning, that continued to show up. I was expecting something way more aggressive, and it ends up coming off very light and palatable in a lot of ways. The movement in the bridge kind of going towards that lighter, more atmospheric sound, and then bringing in the violin for the lead was a nice change of pace. We got a new guitar sound after that, a new riff, and they tried to bring the chorus back on top of it, which I think generally worked well. It's a very cool way of trying to tie together their new ideas with, you know, returning back to the chorus and bringing it all together. Yeah. It's catchy too. Yeah. I'll pull that one down. I don't know. I'll put that in a list of maybes. All the way dumb. What a title. All right. We got 3 more ahead of us. We ain't even at the 2-hour mark yet. This is pretty good timing. Maybe I got to get sick more often. I can stay on track with things. Oh. Do I really now? Yes, I do. Okay. That'll be interesting. I don't even know what a tonal language is. I think we checked out 6th, not recently. The list of maybes. Might get to it in 100 years. Just a list of stuff for other people to check out when they find my spreadsheet after I've already passed. Why does he have this list of songs he'd never get around to checking out? Oh, yeah. Yeah, this was February. I remember comments about how 6th was they were right at the forefront of Gent. I never did check out anything past that song, though. Where different words have rising and falling tones. Isn't that how all words work? Yeah, I know it's like started as a joke, but now I'm intrigued. I'm trying to imagine like pure monotonous vocal speech. Although I guess you said different word. Well, yeah, I'll have to look that up. Because that's going to be one of those things I think you can't really explain. Something that you got to hear. Alright. Tones to... oh, they're assigned. Okay. See, that changes things. Because like in English, we have like pacing of speech. But that's, it's different for everyone. But yeah, where the definition is tied to the pitch and the sound. That's wild. The Australian question intonation. Is it anything like the American question intonation? The little uptick at the end of a sentence? Is it something like that? Or just typical Valley Girl stuff? Just at the end, just bring it up a bit? That is a massive uh, uh, mistranslation, misunderstanding. Yeah, that's probably the right word. Although, uh, Yeah, nope, that ain't gonna work. There's no way I think you can word that to where it becomes positive. Oh, dude, that's awesome. A whole poem of one syllable, but multiple meanings. All right, let's go check out "Go for a Walk" by Lowly from Nessa with no context. Oh, that's interesting. Well, I mean, like if pitch is such an important thing, then yeah, I could see it being very similar to singing. All right, let's see what's going on with Lowly. They knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing.
So we carry on.
Okay, that beautiful arpeggiation on the harp was not what I was expecting from that.
Wasn't it strong? Wasn't it free? I noticed you tremble in your little shell. Was it easy when you were in there by yourself? A devastating crime scene and the dying breath. I bring the remains and you've seen the rest. Let's go for a walk, go for a walk, go for a walk and stay there. Let's go for a walk, go for a walk, go for a walk, go for a walk and stay there.
I do hope it develops into something, but I do think it's a very strong atmosphere right from the start.
And you say you're leaving for another man.
I love those little rolls on the snare.
And I should leave too, but I know I can't, 'cause you smell like safety in an unsafe way. And all I'm asking is he'll ask me to stay.
Yeah, those string slides are doing a lot
Days disappear.
to add a semi-melodic element to the atmosphere.
Stretching above us, and I lose my mind. Let's go for a walk, go for a walk, go for a walk and stay there.
Maybe?
Let's go for a walk, go for a walk, go for a walk, go for a walk and stay there.
Another song that I really like where it builds into. I think this is a strong bit of atmosphere with solid melody on top. So what genre would this be then? It feels very gazy to me, but it can't be shoegaze. There's no guitars or anything. I think this is all digital. But it definitely has... Yeah, see... Post-pop is where my mind went to. Maybe art pop, though. This is definitely a slow burn edition. We've had so many songs that build into something today. I enjoyed it, though. It took a while, though. I kind of wish the song had a little bit more movement to it. But I do like where it ended up. And I think that the super white noise compression on the outsides of the song give it a very dreamlike feel that works well with the higher pitched melodies being strewn throughout it. And when we bring in those string slides from the violin, I thought that was just a gorgeous way to add to it. It feels very dreamlike. Almost as if none of this was real, but it was just a gorgeous watercolor daydream. Yeah. I'll have to check out more of that. All right. Omnific. This is metal of some sort. Scarlet Letterman, cool instrumental bass stuff. But the O? What O? What am I missing there? Whoa. There we go. That's better. Why do I think this is tech death for some reason? Alright. Let's dive into this. See what's going on with Full Circle. Okay. That bass is gnarly. Oh, the O vowel. Yeah, there's no way I was gonna miss this bass, even with my terrible ears. Yeah, super impressive playing. Lots of cool staccato rhythms. Yeah, the tech was right. I had the genre wrong though. I love how the bass contributes to the melody writing on this. The synth pad in the back giving us these solid chords. You beat me to it. I was gonna bring it up in a second. I don't know if it feels too clean, but I mean it's very Animals as Leaders. It's very Polyphia, and I don't know. This type of music just doesn't click with me, even though I find it incredible. Guitar-centered demo music. Ooh, that was a fun harmony. That rhythm is wonky. It's like they're dancing around the downbeat. Could you imagine a metal cafe? Sounds like an untapped market. We need to look into making something like that. Okay. Baphomet, yeah. Yeah, that'd be perfect. Yeah, so like I was saying, I sit in this in the same realm as Animals as Leaders and Polyphia, where it is technically ridiculously impressive. I love the rhythmic element, whether that's the polyrhythms or the sharp staccato elements. The genty rhythms going on, the groove. There's some really spicy harmonies and melodies in here, bringing in some cool jazzy elements. It's a solid track. I really don't have any complaints for it. It's just not my cup of tea. And to this day, I still don't know why this style of music doesn't work for me. The idea that it's the metal version of smooth jazz might be on to something. But I think it's what I've said in the past too, is that gent is not a genre. Gent is a spice to add to something else. And songs like this, they just lean into the gent. And I think I just need something more. Too clinical. Maybe. Maybe. And not on a production side though. But I think performance maybe? You know what though? Maybe it is more that this sounds like music you would play to show off skills that you've learned rather than music you would play in order to show that you are a creative person. And that has a lot of negative connotation in it that I did not intend for, but that is kind of how I feel about it. It's very technical to a fault, I think. Sounds like it could be computer generated. Guess what? There is an entire channel on YouTube and probably more. I found this one back in like 2016 maybe of AI generated gent. So, yeah, I mean gent being very mathematical at its core, I think certainly makes it open to having AI make it sound close. There's some genres that I think AI is going to have problems with because they're too human, but gent as a genre typically is a bit less human. It lacks a consistent accent beat to find for a groove. Yeah, I actually didn't have too big of a problem with that, but I can see where some people would really want that consistent beat. I thought it was done pretty well at sort of guiding the beat alongside their staccato rhythms and syncopation. Could go for Mozart as well. The idea that it's too clinical. I think that's going to be some people's problems with classical music in general, especially when you're looking at Baroque and Renaissance, is that it's too technical for them to find the emotion in. And maybe that's my problem with stuff like this. Yeah, for technicality. Yeah. And I think that's my problem with this. Dude, Romantic and Baroque are my two favorite classical eras. But Romantic, I mean, that's the one that I think everyone can just enjoy. It wears its emotions on its sleeve. It does exactly what you expect it to. If it is a song about being lonely, you're going to feel it. You're going to know it. It's not technical. It does what it sets out to do, usually from an emotional standpoint. And I think it's the one most people are going to have the easiest time getting into. But yeah, you go back to Baroque and Renaissance, you're asking for highly technical music that's going to be tough to get into. So yeah, I kind of think that's where bands like this fit in. They're like the most classical. Yeah. When people think of that stuffy classical stuff, well, I was going to say Renaissance and Baroque. But yeah, Romantic I think is one of the ones that people really associate with classical music. All right, I can't believe we made it. Oh, Quantity. Yeah, dude, they took up such a vast amount of time. Once we got out of that, we just started like kicking new ideas left and right. There was so much innovation so quickly. The earlier stuff is less gent oriented, so I might put one of those in here. Yeah, dude, I'd be down for that. Even if like it doesn't necessarily need to be less rhythmically syncopated. I think I just need a little bit of melody to it all. There was this Animals as Leaders track. I think it's the only one that's really resonated with me, and it's because it kind of switched over into like a Latin chord progression, and the bassist put some phenomenal melody stuff on top of the syncopated guitar and drum work, and it was just gorgeous. Gorgeous in a way that I don't normally get from them. So you don't necessarily have to like completely deviate from it if you're trying to find something that'll work for me. There's just for me to enjoy it outside of like a raw appreciation, it's got to be a little more than just technical skill on display. All right, and somehow we've made it to the end. I really didn't think we were going to do this. I'm glad we did. Yeah, see, that sounds excellent. I'd be down for that. All right. Rivers of Nile. I think I've checked out a little bit of Mestis too. Yeah. Y'all healed me. Honestly, I knew I needed this. Just a bit of distraction. I've been laying in bed staring at the ceiling and watching a lot of Invincible, getting through season 3. That's basically been my last 2 days. Like, I'm not even kidding. I'm not even sleeping. I'm just laying in bed, wondering what's going on with my life. I've just been so tired. So, yeah, just like I said, having something to focus on, I think has helped a lot. I knew it was going to help. I still got to go see a doctor, though. A little bit of laughter throws me on a wheezing fit, so I ain't healed, that's for sure. All right, from Jason, best band from the area I grew up in. We're looking at House of Lights from this album. I don't know what it's called. Oh, the House of Light album. Oh, it's only one light. It's a House of Light. Yeah, we definitely have some sort of biblically accurate angel thing going on here with eyes everywhere and wings. Makes me uneasy, but I can see where it can be described as cool. Definitely a very metal thing. All right, let's dive into this. See what Rivers is bringing today. Alright, I'm already sold more than usual with Rivers. And we got a sax in here from Owls. Something like this from that song that they didn't really use elsewhere. really trying to figure out that third word, Mark. Hot chips get sober. Yeah, that's what threw me off. I was expecting all vowels. Yeah, this is a bit much. As I hear more and more from this band, I've come to the conclusion I'm really only ever going to like one song of theirs. I do like that spacey synth in the background though. Actually, you can clearly hear that synth now. I feel that statement so much. Maybe not necessarily about this band, but there's been music. I feel like I'm gonna have to steal that line for What is it about this chorus that reminds me of Ultra Group still? I mean, not this part, of course. I think it's the clean vocals, though. No, I think you're right. I've always associated Rivers with death metal, but this is very core as well. Yeah. Yup, my favorite black metal is the kind that shouldn't be black metal at all. I wish the sax was used a bit more. They have a track called Where Owls Know My Name. When owls know your name? something like that. It was the first song that I was introduced to them on, and I loved it. It was like quasi death, a little bit of doom metal in there, and lots of saxophone, and it was amazing. And since then, I haven't heard a single song from them that really scratches that same itch. So I uh I kind of feel that here. There's a lot of skill on display here. I think the atmospheres are great. I love the pacing throughout this song, moving from some of the quieter sections to the heavier ones, even the chorus itself, shifting between groovier ideas to blast beats to double bass kicks, kind of shifting up the rhythmic ideas from moment to moment. There's a lot of variety and a lot of contrast and dynamics on this track. The layered harshes and cleans, full clean sections, full atmospheric sections, groovy riffs. Like this thing has a little bit of everything. I just really wish that some of the more metal parts were kind of toned down a little bit. And I think particularly the harsh vocal just doesn't work for me too much. But I mean, this is a song that's just excellent. I have no criticism for it, honestly. I think it's just not for me. I'm not the audience here. Regular versions and metal covers. I'd be down for that. Although I kind of would hope that they were metal arrangements. Because, like, just taking the song and copying it one for one to electric guitars and screaming, I don't know that I would have a lot to say about that. There's certainly, like, a textural thing that I could bring up, especially if there's something related to the vocals that might mesh better. But, like, if they completely rewrote it, added new parts, that'd be different. I think, yeah, I think it really depends on what kind of metal covers. Because, like, there's some alt metal bands out there who take popular songs and then just play the synth stuff on electric guitars. And yeah, it sounds good, but it doesn't fundamentally change the song in any way. So I don't know that I would have a lot to add to those. Now, a metalcore cover of Pink Floyd sounds wild, though. Now, I'm going to be completely honest here, though. I love Toxic, even the original version. I assume that's Britney Spears' Toxic. I would listen to any cover of any band, honestly, any artist. Anybody covering Toxic will get a listen from me. I love that song. Toxic is a banger. It blows my mind that came out so long ago, and I think personally has endured the test of time. It's still just as good today as it was then. Stained doing comfortably numb, I think they could pull it off in either style that they've done. Yes, with growls, not something I think I'd want to experience, but I do think that sort of the absurdity of that would be interesting. Toxic is one of those songs that even anti-pop snobs manage to like. Yeah, dude, it's just solid. Also, Cry Me a River. There was just so much good pop music at that time. Not to throw modern pop music under a bus or anything, but the 2000s were really peak for pop music, honestly. Stain doing anything makes me uncomfortably numb. Wow. Oh, yeah. What song was that? I don't remember what song that was that Disturbed did, but I know Disturbed's covers tend to get a lot of coverage. I know Sound of Silence is widely regarded as an excellent cover. Land of Confusion, that's what it was, yeah. Yeah, that was on their second album, I think. Maybe it was their. No, it must have been their second. I don't think I stuck around for a third album with them. Yeah. I'm glad I made it through too, because honestly, I have no idea where my stress levels would have been at going into April with like 15 songs left over from this week or this month's stream. I would have probably had to come up with some wild thing. I don't know. Maybe an unlive stream. See if anybody would be okay with me reacting to their choices non-live. I don't know. That would have been too much to carry over between months. But yeah, I'll let you all know in the Discord about the hot ones. And I don't know if you're in the Discord Youth Worship Explosion, but if not, I'll let you know next week. Might even review them. Sorry, react to them. I'm not critical reviews on the stream next week. Oh no, I won't be here next week. I don't know. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yes, I'll just put it in the Discord then. All right. Thanks everyone for coming out this Sunday, hanging with me, listening to some good music, and having some good discussion. Thanks for not trying to derail me too much. Dude, I was honestly wiped coming into this. I thought I was going to cancel it at about an hour before the stream. And I was just like, no, it's going to get better once I start. I just got to get into it. And I'm glad I did. Because like I said, it did get better. So this was certainly what I needed. I looked terrible when I started. Wow. I mean, I guess just laying around in bed not doing anything is certainly going to have put a number on you. All right. You guys have a fantastic rest of your day, though. And look forward to this week's reactions and stuff. Because it's going to be fun, I think, with a theme of whatever. I did have fun, so I'm glad. Critical drinker. All right. Catch y'all later.